Hello, and welcome to a new episode of Benelux Cloud Adventures. I'm Anastasia, and I'm a solutions architect with AWS. And today I'm joined by Marcin, who is the CTO of Ohpen. Hi, Marcin.
Hi, Anastasia.
So I know that Ohpen is a pioneer in cloud-based banking software. Can you explain why you started in the cloud, and of course, why you also chose AWS as a partner?
Of course, Open, we are pioneers and also proud from being world's first cloud-native core banking platform. There is a number of reasons why we chose cloud. The first one, probably like the obvious one today, not when we started, is the freedom and the flexibility of developing software and bringing innovation to our customers. The second one, probably less obvious, as it's associated with the cloud, is that we chose cloud for regulatory and compliance reasons. We saw that with cloud, we can build our solution in a much more secure way. And here, the shared security responsibility model with AWS help us a lot, as we could focus on building our application while we could leverage and build on the experience that you have also in other industries. So in short, flexibility, innovation, speed of innovation, and the security that came with AWS and the cloud solution in general.
That is very interesting, and I think both of the all of the values that you mentioned are really uh, also core in AWS values as well. Your business has grown a lot, and you have evolved your architecture in the meantime. Can you share some of the modernizations that you have implemented in your architecture over the recent past years, and the value that that has brought you?
So we're continuously evolving our architecture. We are not a startup anymore. We've been established a company. We've been out there for more than 10 years. And like in any technology companies, we had to undergo a lot of modernization when it comes to our technology stack. And here, the most obvious example is that over time, we're making more and more use of AWS managed services. And to name a few examples, security, that's an obvious one. We are using a lot of services from AWS. But lately, we've seen that even the application core components, like the database, here with Aurora, we're able to offer our solution in a much more scalable, in high performance. So things that we would have to like at first do by ourselves, fine tune, tweak, analyze whether we designed for the peak or average performance. With AWS, with Aurora, we could actually offload that problem to you. That's one of the elements. But when it comes to redesign the architecture itself, we started using more and more serverless components. The main reason was that we are moving away from monolithic architecture to more containerized and serverless components.
Great. So you mentioned serverless. So I want to like zoom in a little bit on this. So I know that you're taking advantage of some of our solutions on serverless, like AWS Lambda and AWS Step Functions. So can you um, describe or like explain a little bit more the value that you're getting out of it, and also the value that you're passing on to your customers?
Absolutely, absolutely. So, as I mentioned, we were evolving our architecture for some time, and with serverless, we could take bits and pieces of that architecture and implement it as individual functions. But it brought us only so far. We saw that we had to go much more inside the application and talk about the workflows. And this is where the step functions came in very, very handy. So with the step functions, we could manage the process of decomposing the workflow, and visually we could design but also optimize it. So with that, we could bring the improvements for the workflow, much faster. So what originally would take us months, we could do now in weeks, maybe even sometimes days, to like discussing with the customer, designing and bringing this to the cloud.
That is actually a very impressive acceleration in your pace. So, my final question, the final topic that I want to touch upon is innovation. I know that you're doing a lot on that field. So, I want to ask you to share some of the most recent innovations that you have implemented, and also to, if you can talk a little bit about the value that you bring to your customers through them.
It's probably not a surprise when I say that we try to do much more with data, AI, and machine learning. So we use AWS services like SageMaker to use machine learning, for example, to improve so-called straight-through processing. Straight-through processing, it's about automating the process of managing the workflow to, for example, apply for a mortgage, a loan, or open an account. So we use machine learning, example, to scan documents documents that are country specific, language specific, right? So it's not generic algorithm. They have to be fine tuned to the information that we want to extract from this document and information that we use then to process such an application. And we hope that soon we'll be able to completely eliminate manual steps with the benefits that are very obvious to our customers as we can bring the whole process down from what it used to be like weeks, days to even minutes, and can be like fully automatically done these days.
That is definitely a very interesting use case. Thank you for the discussion, Martin, and thank you for watching this episode. If you want to learn more about Open, there is another episode on Benelux Cloud Adventures where Martin is talking to my colleague Michael, and he focuses a little bit more on the business side of things. See you next time.
Thank you.